A new ad from the Republican National Committee is seizing on the scandal.
Eric Massa resigned after allegations of sexual harassment surfaced. Pelosi called it rumor.
Most open and most ethical Congress in history.
Pelosi's wrong. It's time to change Washington.
Doug Heye is the communications director for the Republican National Committee. Are you concerned at all that an ad like this could have backlash? I mean, this is clearly playing politics with somebody who is a mess.
Well, you know, if you look at the ad, it's not about Eric Massa, and it's not about Charlie Rangel, who's also mentioned in the ad. It's about the House Democrat leadership. I think you asked the right question earlier. What did Nancy Pelosi know, and when did she know it? You know, she pledged to have the most ethical and open Congress in history. Well, we know, obviously, that she fell short of the ethical pledge. And to steal the old Charlie Rich song, with all the health care meetings behind closed doors, clearly it hasn't been the most open either. It's a real problem, and it's troubling to a lot of Americans. This is not just a Washington, D.C. parlor game.
I mean, here's the thing, Doug. I can't count the number of Republicans who've come on with me on MSNBC and demanded that the president and Democrats get the focus back where they say it should be, on jobs. And yet here the RNC is playing an ad that just plays off of the scandals that some of the Democrats are going through right now. Is that a double standard?
No, not at all. We talk about jobs every day. Frankly, we talk about jobs a whole lot more than the Democrats do. I think the only time Democrats really talk about jobs is when Harry Reid says that losing 36,000 jobs is not a bad thing. We think that is a bad thing, and that's why we've talked about it a lot. But ethics are a real important issue because it really speaks to the core values that the Democratic leadership holds, and we feel that they've fallen short on that.
Okay, let me ask you one more question here. It's not that the Republicans themselves are without sin. They've had their fair share of lawmakers embroiled in scandals. I just mentioned John Ensign in the Senate, but you had Mark Foley several years ago. You had the former Idaho senator in the bathroom with the toe tapping. When we go through these kinds of things, one thing is for certain. It's not what voters intend for their lawmakers to do when they're going to Capitol Hill. Can you understand the disconnect between voters and their faith in their lawmakers?
Well, absolutely. And again, this isn't about any one particular person. This is about the larger pattern.
Yeah.
And it's not just Nancy Pelosi. You look at the White House. Joe Sestak in Pennsylvania has joined his...
Okay, so what responsibility do Republicans have in that same thing? They're in Congress. Is it time for them to stand up?
Well, and I think John Boehner, Minority Leader Boehner, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to call him Speaker Boehner in a few months,
all right,
has really put the best foot forward to get to the bottom of this, to find out what Speaker Pelosi knows. And again, you look at Joe Sestak in Pennsylvania, Andrew Romanoff in Colorado have said that the White House have offered them jobs to get out of their Senate race.
Yeah.
Darrell Issa from California has been a real hero in pushing that. And these are answers that we need to know.
Doug, it's good to see you.